Hey guys, now that we're all kind of have to stay at home, figured I turn our kitchen here into a little Taverna kitchen and show you a few things. So tonight we're going to do a Casarecce Pugliese, which is a house-made Casarecce pasta with a gorgonzola cream sauce, and in it there is candied black pepper bacon. Alright, so let's get going. Alright, so here we have a little bacon. I'm going to put that on a sheet pan here with some parchment paper. Just spread it out a little bit. Okay, just a few slices like that. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of brown sugar here. Cut that open. Go. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit and sprinkle some of that brown sugar over the bacon slices here. Can be pretty generous because you want to get that caramelization going on there, and you want to taste that in the sauce afterwards as well. Okay, so just about like that. Put that here. And then I'm going to grab my pepper mill, black pepper, and just go over the bacon. Just like this. And you want to go pretty generously on it. And I really taste that black pepper, and it's going to go very well in that cream sauce. Just like that. Alright, so that's kind of how that looks like. So I'm going to put this in the oven on high, broil high, okay? And I'm going to put that in there probably for about, say for a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes or so. In the meantime, what we're going to do is get the water boiling for the pasta. Just medium-sized pot here. I'm going to fill that with hot water so it goes a little quicker. I'm going to add in a little bit of salt in there. And I like to do that with sea salt. There we go, so we'll fill that. That's about okay. And put that on the stove, get that going. Put that on high, put a little bit of salt in there. You always want to make sure that we're putting the ratio water to pasta should always be about 10 to 1. You know, mostly that's pretty difficult, however, that's kind of a general rule. So this is the Casarecce pasta, so it's kind of like a S-shaped type of pasta. This is made with semolina, egg and water. Okay, and then I dried it off slightly so it's easy to handle. Right, so I'm going to cover this up here. Make sure it boils a little faster. And then here I have gorgonzola cheese. That's a gorgonzola dolce, so it's pretty sweet in flavor, but it's also salty at the same time. So it's got that really intense, nice cheese flavor. I have a little garlic here. It's already chopped. We're going to use some of that in there. And then parsley, Italian parsley, so I had a whole bunch. So what I did was chopped it up and then put some oil in there so that it keeps longer. Okay. All right, and then we also have a little Pinot Grigio here, which we're going to use to deglaze once we start making the sauce. All right. Pause a little bit. Yeah, come closer. Alright guys, so the water is boiling here, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the pasta in there. It's going to take probably about 6 to 8 minutes or so for it to get nice and al dente. Okay. And then in the meantime, I've already prepped the strainer in the sink because we want to make sure that you have that ready. And as you can see here, come a little closer. I put a bowl underneath so I can catch the pasta water. And you want to keep a little bit of the pasta water just in case you need to kind of dilute the sauce a little bit or adjust the thickness of it. Okay, so while this is going on here, I'm going to turn that down just slightly so that it doesn't overboil, and we let this pasta go here. And then here is the bacon that I took out of the oven. Okay, you can see a nice caramelization on top, and that's about how much you want to kind of bake that. Okay, so we're going to go over here and then put that onto cutting board. Just cut that up here into nice little pieces. All right. So because you're going to cook that bacon a little bit more once it goes into the sauce, so you don't want to get it too crispy while you do this, okay? A stir in the pasta is very, very important. Just an occasional stir so that it doesn't stick together. So it's starting to come to a boil again here. Come a little closer, maybe. Show that. All right, so that's kind of how you want to simmer away on the pasta. All right, so that bacon, I'm going to cut that just into strips like this. Not too fine, but also not too chunky. To make sure that every bite you take of that pasta has a little bit of that bacon on it. Okay? All right. Good. And then what we're going to need is a little frying pan so that we can start working on the sauce once the pasta is ready to go here. Okay. So what I'm going to need for the sauce to get that started is a little bit of that garlic. Okay. So since the garlic is already in oil, just need a little bit. We don't need to add any additional oil, because the bacon will have pretty much a lot of fat in there as well. Okay, so then I'm going to put that bacon right into the pan. There we go. All right. Okay, let's see how that pasta's doing here. I can feel it still takes another 4 or 5 minutes at least. Okay. Good. Huh? Alright guys, this pasta is ready, so I'm gonna strain that here. Always careful. There you go. So as you can see, I catch the pasta water. Shake that off a little bit and just transfer it right over here. Just let it be there, okay? So now we're gonna do the sauce. Move on to the stove here. So again, there's a little bit of garlic with a little oil because it was marinated in oil. And then I cut the bacon, add it in. I'm gonna start sauteing this for a little bit, okay? Get this going a little higher. So at this time, it'll cook the garlic as well as the bacon just a little bit more, okay? So remember now, you have all the sweetness and the peppery, you know, taste of that bacon that's gonna go in there, as well as the garlic flavor. Okay, so when it's about at this, so we're gonna add in the gorgonzola. I'm gonna come over here, man. So as you can see, cut that in pieces a little bit. Just gonna add that in. Okay, so that's probably about 2-3 tablespoons full. Just kind of let that go a little bit. And start smelling that cheese starts to melt already, and I can smell the garlic, the bacon. So once it's there, I'll just deglaze it a little bit with that Pinot. Just a little touch that will help the cheese to melt. Okay. Let me get this going. If you can you see it in there? As the cheese starts to melt away. You can help, you know, with the help of a wooden spoon, you can kind of go and do that. So at this point, we're going to add in a little bit of heavy cream. About this much. And then we're going to let that sauce do what it needs to do, okay? Until it's reduced a little bit and the cheese is all melted. Alright? So when you're adding the pasta, when we're adding the pasta afterwards, we still have to season it a little bit. Okay, a little salt, a little bit more pepper. That's fine because you're adding the pasta in there. The pasta doesn't really, you know, has that much flavor by itself. So I'm gonna let this go, and then we need to reduce that sauce just a little bit so it doesn't get too liquidy on us. Okay. But yes, you want to make sure you still want to season that pasta a little bit, a little salt and pepper, even though the cheese is fairly strong. Alright, I'm going to turn this down just slightly. I had it on pretty high right now to get it going, but now I'm going to turn it down to about medium heat. So now, as you can see, the cream and the cheese really start to get together and come together. And we want to reduce it down just a little bit more. Okay. And you want to constantly move it a little bit so that it doesn't burn in the pan. Also clean the sides just a little bit so that you really have everything in that sauce. Right. Pasta's nice and al dente. Pretty soon to be ready to put in the sauce. So I'm going to add this in now. Probably not all of it, but a good amount. So I'm going to keep some for the kids because they don't really like that gorgonzola sauce that much. Alright, so, and then we need to let that pasta really sit in that sauce because you want to make sure that that sauce penetrates into the pasta. So I'm going to turn this down slightly. In the meantime, I'm going to just add a little bit more pepper, just a couple twists of some sea salt, just to make sure we're right there with it. And then I'm going to just add a little bit of the parsley to finish it off. Again, this is just chopped Italian parsley, also in a little bit of oil so that it holds longer. Okay, just about like this. So if you come closer a little bit, then you get a real close shot of this as it comes back up to a boil. And as you can see, when the pasta's in there, it really starts to take in the sauce. And that's really what you want, so that the sauce has the right consistency. And also the flavor is really in the pasta. Okay? You grab a spoon here so that I can scoop it into a plate. pasta plate right here. I think we're right there. I'm gonna turn this off. The plate here. There you go. So, and there you have it. This is a Casarecce Pugliese with a gorgonzola cream sauce and candied black pepper bacon. Alright guys, enjoy and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.